Welcome everyone. This is video number 7 of the live readings of the book Elsie Lincoln Benedict's How to Get Anything You Want, 7 Lessons. And this is from her School of Opportunity, which I absolutely love that. Let's refresh here and make sure we're going live. Last time I went live a little too quick. I wasn't even ready. You guys got to see the setup, which I got a lot of positive feedback. So thank you for being so gracious. Also, what I noticed is that this is my 4th year anniversary on YouTube. I am so excited. Although I opened my channel 4 years ago in May, I didn't really start putting videos out until September of 2020. So it's my 4th year and I can't believe it. And I'm just so grateful for all of you who subscribe, who watch these videos, who get value out of them. I'm so grateful. I love YouTube and this is a dream come true for me. So I'm just probably going to do this for the rest of my life. But I looked at my very first interview because I started this channel as an interview show. It was called Inside Talk Show. It's kind of like a podcast interview show. I did about 17, 18 episodes, I believe, which you can still see. But my very first episode was Devin Harris. He was one of the Olympians that was a part of the bobsled team. There was a movie made out of it after it called Cool Runnings, if you remember that in the 90s as a 90s kid. Oh, so good. Anyways, he was my first interview. That was my very first interview. I didn't even have like a proper microphone or anything. Anyways, so we are on video 7, number 7 of Elsie Lincoln Benedict's How to Get Anything You Want. This is 7 lessons of how to get anything you want. According to Elsie Lincoln Benedict, this book was written over 100 years ago, about 100 years ago. And we're still on lesson number 1, titled Predominant Moods Make Your Life. How you feel makes your life. I got my little notes ready, my beautiful cards, drawing cards. And in classic CBT therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, it teaches us that we think, we feel, we act, and we get certain results in life. So we think with our conscious thinking mind, we feel with our subconscious or emotional mind, which propels us to act. It gives us that inspired action or urge to act, that motion, energy, and motion. Remember how we feel, our emotions are energy and motion, and it propels us to act. But depending on how we act, we get results in our life. So this is that classic cognitive behavioral model, and this is Dr. Thurman Fleet's stick person, which is really just an image of the mind that we use to represent the mind. It's not obviously how the mind is because the mind has no image, but this helps. So we think, we feel, we act, we get results. However, what she's saying in lesson 1 is, she's reminding us that it's how we feel that make our life. It's how we feel that gets results. All right. So again, it's how we feel that gets our results. Not how we think, not how we act, but how we feel, because how we act is determined by how we feel. And how we feel is dictated by our thoughts. So we can think all we want, but if we don't feel it, we don't get emotionally involved with the thought, it will never come forth. So this is the magic right here in the subconscious mind. There's a lot of books. Joseph Murphy, Dr. Joseph Murphy, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It's all about the subconscious mind. So this is your feeling subconscious mind. How you feel will determine your results. I like to put it this way. We think, we feel, we vibrate, and we attract. We think, we feel, we vibrate, and we attract. So we think a thought, we can either accept it or reject it in our conscious thinking mind. When we accept it and we feel it, we get emotionally involved with a thought. We start vibrating. So we get emotionally involved. Our emotions are just a label. The emotion of happiness, the emotion of joy, the emotion of sadness, depression. Those are just labels we put on the conscious awareness of the vibrational state that we are in. So the emotions that are caused by our thoughts dictate our body, our physical body's vibration. Are we high vibe, low vibe? It's no good or bad. It just is. It's either high vibration, for example, grief, sadness. That's a low vibration. No judgment. Things in life cause us to be sad and vibrate lower. However, how long are we going to stay there? Not to force or push our process, but just to know that we, depending on when we change our thoughts about the sadness, the depression, right? When a family member passes away or we lose someone, I'm screwed. I'm never going to see them again. I'm in so much pain. I will never love again, right? These are the thoughts. However, when we start healing, we think, maybe I can rebuild. I trust that I'll see them again. I trust that I can connect with them in spirit. For now, it still sucks, but we start changing our thoughts. Maybe that's not the end. Maybe it was for the better. Maybe they were in so much pain, right? we could tell ourselves lies, to be honest, whatever we think, but we change our thoughts, which will cause us to feel different about the same situation, right? The person still passed away. And at first we're thinking negative thoughts because obviously we're human. But when we change those thoughts, when we're ready, when we're inspired to, or whatever, when we're just not liking the results, because if you've ever had a heartbreak, yes, when you're in pain and you want to cry, cry. But then the tears dry up and we can make out of it whatever we want. Just like Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich, within every adversity, and I'm going to read off my thing. He says, every adversity, every disappointment, every heartache, every adversity, every disappointment, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal benefit. I have that poster on my wall. I'm going to take a screenshot. You know what? I don't know where the other one is. Anyways, I'll try to roll it out if we had. Let me see. This is the beauty of being live. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can put it out. Okay. So this, Don Green sent this to me. I have one on my wall, but he sent me another. I've always wanted one of these posters. And I think I actually have a couple more in here. I have a green screen, obviously, but hopefully it doesn't interfere. This is what I was reading from. I have two more of these. You can order these online at the Napoleon Hill Foundation. I think it's naphill.org. But look, this is the poster that I was reading off of. It says, "Stay the course." And this is the ship of success. What does it say? The philosophy of success, and each mast, each sail has success, applied faith, going the extra mile, definiteness of purpose, positive mental attitude, enthusiasm. I love looking, the mastermind. I look at this every day, but right there at the bottom, can you see? It says, every adversity, I can't read it backwards. Every adversity, every disappointment, every heartache carries within it the seed of an equivalent benefit. Isn't that cool? I have two of these. The first two people that say they want one, I'll send it to you. But you're gonna have to send me your address, don't be weird. Or you can send me a P.O. box or something, but I have two extra, I'll send it to you. Anyways, I love that. I love being live. I love that I don't have to edit this. Oh, and it's just real. You know what I'm saying? All right. I was on a tangent. Oh, so you think, you feel, you vibrate, you attract. So depending on how we vibrate, birds of a feather flock together. The law of attraction, right? We know about the law of attraction. That's what this is. The law of attraction is something outside of us. It's a result. So the law of attraction is the result. We don't focus on the results or the law of attraction. We focus on the law of vibration. We focus on how we act. Okay? So our vibration will dictate what is attracted to us. Our emotions, which causes our vibration, is our attraction point. So how we feel is what we'll attract more of. That's why it behooves us to do the healing work, to look at the bright side, to find the seed of equal benefit in any adversity or any disadvantage. It's like we've all been through heartbreak, we've all been through pain, and it's there to teach us something, not to sit in it or use it as an excuse. And I'm not saying we are. You know what? Yes, we do. A lot of us do. I do. Guilty as charged. I did it for like 2 decades. But you know what? I learned a lot. I took all of that adversity that was first something crappy, and then I just milked it. And I didn't know I had a choice. I didn't know I had a choice to change it. But I've turned it into a beautiful therapeutic career to help other people through grief and trauma and coaching and teaching and, sharing this wisdom that was bottled up for so many years because I didn't know I had another way. But now I'm using it to the benefit of not just myself, but anybody who it can help. So predominant moods make your life. How you feel will make your life. How you feel will determine what you attract. How you feel will multiply. And it's not to shame or blame or condemn. If you're watching this video, you're like, well, I'm in a low place. Just notice it. Why are you in a low place? What's going on? What's going on? What kind of thoughts are you having about it? It might be a fact that something really crappy is happening to you, but you can change your thoughts about it. I use simple examples and really extreme examples. Simple example, I got a flat tire. It's a fact that I got a flat tire. It's my opinion that it's effed up or the worst thing that can happen, or it's going to ruin my day, or now I'm screwed forever. They cheated on me. That's painful, right? If you get betrayed or cheated on, my thoughts, I'm not good enough. I can never trust anybody again. I can never love anybody again. It's a fact that the person was dishonest. It's my opinion that is now my narrative, that I'm going to believe that I can't trust anybody, or that, I can just as equally think as they weren't the one for me. Good thing I found out now and not later, 10 kids down the line. And it's not bypassing, it's just we choose our thoughts about any situation. And the thoughts we choose will determine our moods. And that's what Elsie, Lincoln, Benedict is saying. Predominant moods, meaning your predominant mood, the moods like your baseline, your average moods will determine your life. And it's not the predominant state of all of us to go through tragedy and heartache. It's more of a rarity. Like, yes, we deal with heartbreak or someone passing away really rarely, once or twice in a lifetime. Some people a little bit more, but compared to our whole life, no, it's like maybe 95% tragedy, real crazy things happening. And then the rest of the 95 is just normal life. I'm sorry, 5% is, tragedy or heartbreak or loss. 5%. 95% is just regular life. And we determine how we're going to think about it. And how we think about it will determine how we feel. How we feel will determine what we attract. So your heart is a magnet. Your predominant moods, the moods that you choose predominantly, that really are your baseline. If you were to look at the past weekend, let's just look at this past weekend, this past week. What was your predominant mood? Was it joy? Was it optimism? Or was it fear and worry and doubt? Again, it's okay if it was negative or on the lower vibrational scale. But our emotions are just feedback as to what we're thinking. What's been going on and how are we thinking about it? Perhaps we need to shift our perception or our perspective about it. Look at me just teaching a whole lesson on the title, the title of this lesson. I haven't even gotten into it. Sweet mother of pearl. Okay. So last video was video number 6. This video is video number 7. And we left off, she was saying, the feelings we habitually entertain make us what we are. The feelings that we habitually entertain, we entertain emotions and feelings. What kind of conversations are we having? Do we get off on complaining? Do we get off on telling people how someone betrayed us? Yeah, sometimes we do. I definitely have. But there comes a point where I say, Carla, do you want to stay in this? You're right, Carla. You're right. They were a big ding dong. They were a bad baby. But I'm the one suffering because they're my moods. So that's where we have the control, and we have to take full responsibility, full accountability. So she's saying the feelings we habitually entertain make us what we are. What we really are determines how far and how fast we shall go in the world. The feelings we habitually entertain. Do you habitually entertain being wronged, being a victim, being attacked, life not being fair, other people doing you wrong, screwing you over, out to get you? Or positive, hopeful, solution-focused, trusting people, seeing the good in people? Because what we really are those moods, and they determine how far and how fast we shall go in the world. There is no escaping the penalty or the profit of our innermost feelings. Here's that little poem. It says, then let thy secret thoughts be fair. They have a vital part to share. In making worlds and molding fate, God's system is so intricate. Equally do our secret virtues betray themselves. Though we speak no word, though no opportunities come for expressing to any living person the ideals which dominate us, even strangers see in our faces a radiance that speaks for us. So she's saying The things we keep to ourselves, the secret thoughts, which there's no such thing as a secret thought, even though we don't speak any words out loud, there's no one to even share them with. A stranger can feel our vibration. What's a vibration? It's the mood we're in. It's the thoughts we think. We could read each other's minds. We really can. We have that intuitive faculty. And the more quiet we are, the more mindful we are, the more we can pick up on other people's. And, you know, when you're behind someone in a checkout line, or like I remember I was in Starbucks and there was a man in front of me and he didn't even turn around. I was like, he's grieving, man. Like someone died or something. It was so heavy. It was so heavy. And I don't remember if I ended up hearing him talk about it, but I don't know what it was, but it was heavy. God bless him. I just prayed. And that's just intuition picking up on someone else's predominant mood. It radiates off of us. So our thoughts speak for themselves. And someday, perhaps after we have ceased to look for it, or when we least expect it, the reward will come. That reward will be greater and finer the longer we have waited for it. For the big bank of life pays with compound interest. So she's saying that when we think positive, when we least expect it, even though we're not saying it out loud, or even if we do, these positive moods pay in compound interest. The bank of life will pay us with interest. The good thoughts that we cultivate and we repeat and we get emotionally involved with. But our fleeting transient thoughts, whims and fancies may be balked at every turn, but our deepest desires are food and fuel unto themselves. The divinity that shapes our ends lies within ourselves and shapes them in exact accordance with our inmost attitudes. So really, the magic that shapes our lives lies within our inmost attitudes. The rough hewing or the chopping, so that rough chopping we do by means of pretense and sham only hacks the surface. So I hear a lot. I was the victim of this in the personal development world. I would just follow what people said to do, write down your affirmations 10 times a day, 369, repeat them, blah, 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 put Post-its all over. And I thought that was enough. But that's just surface. That was just happening in my conscious thinking mind. I was not getting emotionally involved with it. I was just going through the motions. I wasn't feeling it. So I wasn't vibrating at it and I wasn't attracting it. So a lot of people, when they're on their personal or spiritual development journey and they're trying to change something, they'll go through the motions. They'll follow the 3 steps. They'll be around someone who's getting results, but they'll continue to be frustrated because they're not attracting to them what they desire or any change. They keep getting the same results. They keep attracting the same thing. So they think it doesn't work. They throw it out. But this is the trick. This is what she's telling us. It's how do we feel? Are we getting emotionally involved with what we're doing, the thoughts we're thinking? If you want to dream big, what do you want? What's your desire? You can tell me it's a thought, but are you emotionally involved? Can you feel it in your body and your cells? How does it make you feel? Freedom, peace, safety, love, joy, excitement. Allow yourself to get emotionally involved with it. So just fleeting transient thoughts, whims and fancies, dreams and hopes may be balked at. But really what shapes our life are our inmost attitudes, how we feel. A woman I used to know is a good illustration of the fact that our predominant mood and not our superficial acts bring the results. Good people, this is a quote the woman was saying, good people, deserving people stay poor, she would say, and wicked people become rich and ride in limousines. Look at me, I'm virtuous and hardworking, I pay my bills and do my duty, but I'm not rich and never will be. I have barely enough to get along with. It's entirely unfair. Wow, I literally used to say that verbatim. Like, I'm a good person, I tithe, I donate, I volunteer, I work, I pay my taxes. What the hell, right? What am I doing wrong? So this woman's saying, good people stay poor, which perpetuates that thought that poverty is virtuous, right? Good people don't have a lot because they're not selfish or they're not greedy. That people who do have money are greedy. These are just lies. They are unhelpful programming that a lot of people live by. I certainly did. So she goes, I barely have enough to get by, and I'm a good person. It's entirely unfair. Needless to say, she never became rich. Also, needless to say, she continued to have barely enough to get along with. Life paid her in her own coin, paid her just as she paid others, exactly what was earned, but never a penny over. That habit of never giving one iota more in kind words, love, or money than was in the letter of the law built her life. Not her hard work and virtue, but that inmost attitude manufactured her experiences. So this woman was saying that, well, Elsie Lincoln Benedict is pointing out that she had a habit of never giving more, not giving one kind word, not giving one penny more. She lived by the letter of the law, not by the letter of the Spirit. So if you've ever heard that phrase, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Do you live by the letter of the law or the letter of the Spirit? So the letter of the law is, for example, Girl Scout cookies are $10 a box. But you have a 10 and a 5 and you give them $15. Just keep it. Keep it, girls. But they're $10. Give me my change. No shame if you do. But what I'm saying is you can be extra. You can give out of abundance. If you have it, give over. If you can't, obviously get your change back, right? Because you're already donating. But what I'm saying is the letter of the law, there's so many examples living by the letter of the law or the letter of the Spirit. More will come to me, but do you want to be right? Do you want to live by the letter of the law? Well, that's what the sign says. Yeah, that's what the sign says, but like, come on, be nice, give a little extra. You can break the rules a little bit. Like when there's no one on the road late at night and like you're going through like a really curvy road, it's like, if you got the road, use it. If you got the road, use it. Obviously, don't be dangerous, but like, that's the letter of the law. I can't cross the road. Or here's an example. Say there's an accident and you're in California, you're in the carpool lane. And we all know, well, I know, you cannot cross the double lines. You cannot get out of the carpool lane unless there's a break in the lines of like super illegal. But if there's an accident and you want to avoid it, you're going to swerve out of the carpool lane. It is illegal. That's the law. But there's a higher law, meaning I want to do the best for myself, my life, the lives of all the people to not create this accident. I hope that made sense. All right. So she had a habit of never going over. She lived by that letter of the law and she was pissed that it wasn't working for her because she doesn't understand the letter of the Spirit. The thing is constructed. So her life and her experiences, she continued to stay poor and barely have enough to get by because that was her inmost attitude towards the world. The thing it constructed for her was as perfect a materialization of that attitude as a house is of its blueprints. True is it that rich people often have vices. Just this woman, her virtues. Okay, let me read that again. True it is that rich people often have vices, just as this woman, her virtues. But the person who makes money cultivates a mood about money, the exact opposites of hers. I shall tell you more about this in a later lesson devoted exclusively to the attainment of prosperity. But for the purposes of this illustration, it is only necessary for you to bring to mind any money maker whom you know intimately. Regardless of his virtues or vices, note this. His mental attitude concerning money is one that says, I'm going to make money. It's like, I know it sounds so stupid and so simple, but if you've grown up with a poverty mentality or lack mentality or in a family or in a country, whatever, community, it is so embedded in our cells to do the work, the reprogramming at the cellular level to get it out. And it is work to get it out. But once you get it, you can have that abundance, prosperous mentality. Reverend Ike is so good at that prosperous money mentality. So You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. That's a great book. Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. Think and Grow Rich, obviously. But when it comes to, because Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill really is not about money. I mean, let's be honest, that's not a book that I would say that's how you get rich. That's how you get rich in life, like all riches. Like that's my favorite book. Honestly, like well, one of my favorite books, but it's the most perfect book with all of the lessons to be rich in all areas of your life. Think and Grow Rich. It talks about the 12 riches of life, which money is just one of them. But just when it has to do with money, the science of getting rich, you could be a badass at making money or earning money. Yeah, there's a lot of money. Just look up some money courses. Amanda Francis is really good at money. She has her money mentality makeover course. So many good things. But yeah, people who have money, their thoughts concerning money are, I'm going to make money. They have a positive relationship with money and there's no guilt around it, no shame. They don't think it's evil. So if you do think any of those things and you want money, you got to change your relationship with money. On the strength of this inner certainty, he invests his money. So the person has that attitude, I'm going to make money. On the strength of his inner certainty, he invests money. Lets go, gives it a chance to grow. A man's habit of banking his money, putting it in a safety deposit box or hiding it instead of investing it, is always stated by the secret conviction that he is destined to have so little he dare not risk any. That's, what is it, the bearing of the parable of the talents. That's a Bible story, I believe. And it's about, there was two different people that were given talents, which are units of money, like bars of gold, just say. And so one of the owners of the land was going to go away for, and I might botch this, but this is what I remember from the parable of the talents. That's what she's talking about. The person, the rich-minded person, knows how to invest it, give it away, trust it. But then there's the person who keeps it safe in a safety locked deposit box and does not want to let it go and doesn't want to share it because they're afraid of losing it. That's the poor person, poor mentality. So the parable of the talents. Let's just say that this rich landowner had two people working for him. And he said, all right, guys, I'm going to put you in charge to work the land, make the best out of it while I'm away. So the dude leaves these two guys. He gives them both 10 gold bars. And he says, okay, do with it what you will. I'll be back. Have at it. So the owner was gone for a while, comes back. Well, while he was away, one of the guys took the 10 bars of gold and invested it, gave it away, worked with it, bought more supplies, and he ended up with 50 gold bars after he turned the 10 into the 50 because he invested it. He got supplies to build more. The other guy had the 10 bars of gold. He buried them. He hid them. He didn't want to lose them. He didn't give them away. He didn't invest them. He was too scared. So then the owner comes back and says, all right, fellas, what you got? So the guy who buried him, I think he was proud and he goes, here's your 10 bars of gold back. And then the other guy said, here's 50. I turned those 10 into 50. And the owner goes, wow, thank you so much. Here's your portion. Thank you so much. You're great. And then he put the other guy in jail and said, what the hell are you doing? You didn't do anything with the money. It would be worth more now. I could have done more with it. You're useless. It was pretty harsh, right? The Bible. Just kidding. I mean, it can be. But anyways, he punished and chastised the guy who buried the talents because he was too afraid to share them and to give them away. That was my version. I'm not a big scholar on that. But it goes to say with you, you are given bars of gold. You are given talents. I think it's funny that in that parable, the unit of money is called talents. But when we read it today, you have talents, actual talents, gifts that you were given. And what are you doing with them? Are you burying them? Or are you investing them? Are you sharing them with the world? For example, just when I opened up this video, I said, I started my YouTube channel 4 years ago. Do you know how long I wanted to do this? I could have done this back in 2007. You guys, what's 20 take away 7? Is that 13? I waited 13 years. I buried the talents for 13 years. And I used to beat myself up about that. But you know what? I forgave myself. And I turned that adversity or that pain into gold. And so at least I started. Now it's been 4 years and I'm going to keep going. But what are you doing? What talents, What precious riches are you burying? What are you hiding from the world, from yourself? Dig them up, let them loose. There's nothing to lose. Do you want to start a YouTube channel? Do you want to start teaching people? Do you want to put yourself out there? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to start dating again? What do you want? Do you want to start a diet? Do you want to start going to the gym? What do you want? You know, your dreams, your hopes, your desires. Those are beautiful things that are to be expressed. So do not bury the talents. Do not put it in safety deposit boxes and hide it instead of investing it. Because you will be destined to have so little that you're going to be scared to do anything. Because what you give, you receive. Such an attitude also keeps him pinching and scrimping the person who hides it and doesn't invest it. And it makes us insecure, right? We pinch and scrimp emotionally, energetically. People who, and I was insecure. Oh my God, that was when I was like in the height of my addiction, when I used to drink. Lord, it's a vicious cycle. Let me just tell you. So when we have that attitude of not investing anything and being afraid to take a leap, take a risk, and that's really where my journey in personal development started. I will never forget. I would always watch YouTube videos, right? Free 99, YouTube University. And I used to get offended if anybody asked me for money. Like, oh God, they just want to sell something. I had a bad attitude about sales, about paying people, blah, blah, blah. They just want to rip you off and want to steal your money. But it wasn't until I started really investing. And Bob Proctor was the first seminar I invested in. It was like $2,000. And that wasn't even VIP. It was just general admission for like a 3-day seminar. I think it was 4 days. It was $1,999. I was like, wow. It was August, I believe, of 2019 when I first invested, because I had been doing personal development for years, but really invested 2019. And I invested so many other things. And that's how I started my YouTube channel and did everything, because it was when I really invested, I got around people who were doers, movers, and shakers. Because if you're around people who just watch free shit, like, just be honest, you get what you pay for. Always trying to just get the free course and this all. It's like, when you pay for something, you pay attention. It has a value to you. And I'm sure you do find value. I found value on free YouTube videos and courses. But when you step up and you pay for something, it shifts you onto a new frequency, into a whole new ballpark. It's like I've talked a lot about before about when you fly first class versus just economy. Nothing wrong with it, but a very different experience. When you're in Las Vegas and you stay at Hooters down on the south of the Strip, or if you stay in the Encore or the Wynn or the Bellagio, it's different. It's a different vibration. It's a different energy. Why? Because there are different thoughts surrounding you. People who think this mentality, oh, I just want to find the cheapest hotel because we're barely in it. We just sleep there. I used to be that person. Then you're around other people who think like that. And it's really low level thinking. It's like basement, first floor thinking. You know, we talk about the penthouse and we talk about the basement. I don't know where it is. It's here somewhere. The penthouse or the basement. Where do you want to live? Basement living, first floor living is cheap. And it attracts cheap. If you have Amazon deliveries, here it is. If you have, there's penthouse and there's basement and there's floor 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. If you are in a big building in New York City and you pay first floor, it's going to be cheaper than the penthouse. And say you pay first floor and you have first floor thoughts, you're around first floor people, you have first floor neighbors, people making the same amount of money, paying the same amount of rent. If you have an Amazon order and it's delivered at your door and you don't pick it up, it might be snagged. Because it's just a mentality. If people are in poverty, scarcity, lack, people steal. That's just what it is. If you go to any, project area or low income area, there's a lot of theft. You don't want to leave your car doors unlocked. It's just the truth. Because that's the mentality that's around there. It's a dog eat dog world. You got to get, if you see a wallet full of money, you go and take it. But if you were in the penthouse, you're around penthouse neighbors, penthouse people, penthouse income, penthouse thoughts. Those neighbors are the ones to watch out for each other, because it's abundance. It's a very giving. It's like, hey, I saw your Amazon package. I picked it up. Come over and get it when you're ready. I just wanted to keep it safe. Or they could just leave their doors unlocked, to be honest. Like no one's going to steal because everyone has their own in abundance and overflow. They don't need to steal. There's no lack, scarcity, or, that needy mentality, that vibration is not the same. So where are you? Are you in a lack mentality, or are you in a poverty mentality, or somewhere in the middle, and you want to get higher up on that building of life, so to speak, into the penthouse? So when we have a attitude of poverty, of dog eat dog, negative thinking, it keeps us pinching and scrimping. It leads us to a life of a pauper, even after we've saved something. So when we have that mentality, that's why the lottery winners, people who win the lottery, well, first of all, people who play the lottery are a certain type of people, not just like every now and then, like, yeah, I'll get a lottery ticket like once a year or whatever, if the jackpot's big, just for what the hell, right? But people who, they do it regularly. Like they play 3 times a week. Like poor people play the lottery. If you were to look statistically, people that don't have money play the lottery. It's a mentality. Rich people don't play the lottery because that's not where they can get their money from so many different ways. They invest their ideas and their time. And that sounded rude, but it's the truth. I grew up with I don't want to go there, but it's just look around you. So it turns us into a pauper even after we have won the lottery. So it's a diseased thought, this mentality that you cannot have a rich life, that you have to wait for a winning lottery ticket, the golden ticket. Because what are the statistics? Most lottery winners, they lose it all because they don't have the right mindset. They don't have a wealth mindset. They don't trust money. So they lose it all and they end up more broke. That's why when we see a lot of young artists, athletes who get huge checks, millions of dollar checks, what do? You see it. They spend their money on all sorts of things, party, drugs, blah, 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 and then they go bankrupt. It's terrible. But their actions are just following their mindset, this poverty mindset, these predominant moods and attitudes towards wealth, towards money, towards abundance. It's terrible. So when we have that attitude around money, poverty, scarcity, it keeps us, pinching and scrimping for money. We're a pauper, even if we have that money. Our money is useless to us. So the money is useless to the person who doesn't have the money mindset. For since he dare not spend any of it, he is figuratively and literally poverty stricken. Like poverty is a disease. And then, poverty is a disease. He thinks if he could only look ahead and know how many more years he has to live, he would begin to get some benefit of it. But the same mood paralyzes him. It makes him poor and keeps him poor to the last moment of his life. This man is a wonderful example of the truth that it is not the bare facts, but the inner feelings that create our lives. The facts in this case, and that he has money in the bank. Wait, let me read that again. This man is a wonderful example of the truth that it is not the bare facts, but the inner feelings that create our lives. The facts in this case are that he has money in the bank, but he lives and dies poor just the same because of what went on inside his subconscious mind. Exactly. Order, not chaos, rules the universe. Order, not chaos, rules the universe. Order is heaven's first law, if you've never heard that. And I remember I looked it up. And this is a poem. This is, how did I not write the author? I know who it is. Alexander somebody. Order is heaven's first law, and this confessed. Some are and must be greater than the rest, more rich, more wise, but who infers from hence that such are happier shocks all common sense. Condition, circumstance is not the thing. Bliss is the same in subject or in king. Let's listen to that. Order is heaven's first law, and this confessed, some are and must be greater than the rest. So those with order in their lives are just greater in life than the rest, not better and like worthy, but they just have better results. So order is heaven's first law, and this confessed, some are and must be greater than the rest. more rich, more wise. But who infers from hence? Who makes the connection that this is the case? So who infers from hence that such are happier shocks all common sense. So common sense would not connect the dots between someone who has order in their mind to their outer success. Condition, the conditions we're in, circumstance is not the thing. Bliss is the same in subject or in king. So whether you're subject or a king, if you don't have order in your life, you're screwed. You're in chaos. And the rest of your results follow. The rest of your results follow. So order is heaven's first law. So order, not chaos, rules the universe. Law, not accident, lies back of every general condition we have with us. Law, not accident, lies behind every general condition we have with us. Of all the laws operating in human life, none is more vital than this. Only so far as we acquaint ourselves with it and adapt ourselves to it shall we ever be healthy, happy, or successful. So if you want to be healthy, happy, or successful, acquaint yourself with this law, the law of order. Oof. When we study it, one of the first things we discover is that neither external things, events, nor other people make our lives what they are. Not living from the outside in. I know I got this out for a reason. Okay, so I'll show you in a second. When we study the law of order, one of the first things that we discover is that neither external things, nothing in the outside world, people, events, make our life what they are. Nothing that happens on the outside makes our lives what they are. Each of us spins our own environment as a spider spins his web. We create our circumstances. I don't create my neighbor's circumstances that I might have negative thoughts about, but then I'll have negative an experience of their circumstances. I'm not responsible for the outside world. I'm only responsible for my world. We live on the same planet, but we all live in different worlds. Okay? We all live on the same planet, but we live in different worlds, and we talk like that. Wow, she's in her own world. They live on another planet. Wow. We create our own worlds by the thoughts we think. So when we study it, nothing outside controls it. We're the ones that make our lives. We each spin our own environment as a spider spins its web. Our immediate surroundings come directly or indirectly, but nevertheless inevitably from inside of ourselves. I'm going to stop right there. Let me just see. Hold on. So she says, our immediate surroundings come directly or indirectly, but nevertheless inevitably from inside of ourselves. So look around you right now. Look at your bank account, look at the number on the scale, look at your waist size, look at your relationships. They come and they're a reflection of your inner thoughts. And I'll admit right now there's places in my life that I'm like, but I know where the work lies. That's why I study this every day. Ugh. And it's beautiful. Things are changing day by day in every way. Things get better and better. Day by day in every way, I get better and better. Emile Coué said that, and Napoleon Hill quoted it. All right, so living from the outside in is what most of us do. We start with our present results. Oh my God, the bank account. And then it causes our thoughts. We allow our bank account to cause our thoughts. And you say, duh, Carla, well, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, live that way. But we let the bank account or the present results dictate our thoughts. And if they're positive, great. But if they're negative, it causes negative feelings, which cause our actions. And no good actions come from negative feelings or negative thoughts. So it's just this cycle. And then our actions cause more results. So this is a negative cycle. However, this is like playing Russian roulette. There's some people that do let this work for them. They have good results. Oh my God, I'm a rich AF. Oh my God, I made so much money, which causes thoughts. I'm amazing, which causes feelings. I'm amazing, which causes actions. And then they just perpetuate it and they live their best life until a result that's out of their control, the market crashes. Somebody in the family gets sick. They make a bad investment. Somebody robs them. What are they going to think then? Do not live this way. Do not live from the outside in. Don't start with present results. What you do instead is you start with your own thoughts and ideas, no matter what's happening in the outside world, no matter what your bank account says right now. What do you want? Think and feel, right? Because you think and then you're going to feel. So think what you want. And it's not denial. I mean, be normal, meaning take action. But this is where it starts. What kind of action are you taking? Think what you want. I've been there. I've been so broke. And I could think I'm a big fucking ding dong, right? There's my bank account. I'm a big ding dong. I hate myself. I'm a loser. I gained 20 pounds. It was terrible in so many ways. Shut people out, drank alcohol, was an addict. But I'm broke. The facts, I got sober. Okay, but I'm still broke. Okay. I deserve to earn as much money as I want. There's no shame or guilt. I want to do good things with money. I want to enjoy my life. I want to spoil my family. Money's good. Money does good things. Money talks, and I have a lot to say. I start thinking differently about money. Even though I have no money in my bank account, I'm going to think what I want about money, which is going to make me feel better about money. The actions that I take are going to be better. The results are going to be better. Then it's going to lead to more thoughts. And this is just a shoe-in, because if I'm choosing my own thoughts and my own ideas, that's all I have to worry about. Everything else will take care of itself. It all starts with thought. So are you living from the inside out, meaning you are dictating what happens, or are you living from the outside in? You're letting the outside world dictate what happens. Let's be smart here. So let's finish with this. She said, our immediate surroundings come directly or indirectly, but nevertheless inevitably from inside of ourselves. The moment we cease looking outside of, away from, beyond, or behind ourselves for the cause of our undesirable financial, physical, intellectual, or material condition, we have taken a long step toward the conditions we desire. The moment we begin to inquire within for the cause of our external conditions, we begin to progress. As we look honestly for their roots in the soil of past thoughts and feelings, long-held resentments, fears, hates, or jealousies, we discover the exact cause of our troubles. From the hour when we begin to reverse these attitudes, to feel courage instead of fear, love instead of hate, forgiveness instead of resentment, the conditions around us begin to reverse themselves, and soon comes a decided change for the better. So good. Start today to improve your own moods. Within a week, you will note that several joys of real importance have come to you. Joys that have been passing you by, joys that have been longed for but kept at a distance through your wrong attitudes of mind and heart. The moment you cease, the moment I ceased to look outside of me, away from me, over here, over there, him, her, the government, the president, the gas prices, California's taxes, the moment I stopped looking outside of me, behind me, for the reason for my undesirable finances, my physical health, my intellectual and material conditions, when I stopped blaming the outside world for what was happening in my life, I took that long step toward what I wanted, and that is the truth. The moment we begin to inquire within, go to my own thoughts and my own ideas for the cause of my external conditions, we begin to progress. As we look honestly, it's that fearless moral inventory. It's step 4 in the 12 steps. I say, look, not everyone's addicted to things like physical addictions, but we're all addicted to fear, worry, anger, resentment. So I encourage everyone to go through the 12 steps. Look it up, Google it. 12-step your bad attitude. I have done that. 12-step your bad attitude. Number 1, admit to yourself that you're powerless against anger, against a bad mood, complaining, thinking life's crap. I'm powerless against it. Step 2, I admit to myself and another person that, yep, I'm a pessimist. And you surrender it to God or your higher power of your understanding. And then you do step 4, the fearless moral inventory. I encourage you to do those first 4 steps in the recovery process. You can look up online, the 12-step recovery, do the 12 steps up to step 4, the fearless moral inventory of your own character defects, your own wrongs, the places where you effed up in life. It's quite the process. It's where a lot of people in recovery kind of say, no, I don't want to go there. And they don't do the work. It's unfortunate. Trust me, I didn't want to do that. I was ready to do it, man. I was humbled and ready. I had run up so rock bottom, but maybe you're not yet. But remember, you don't have to hit rock bottom. You don't have to be super, super sick and tired before you change. That's when a lot of us do change. But you don't have to be sick to get better. You can just get better. You don't have to be sick to get better. You can just get better. So let's stop looking outside of us, inquire within. The hour that we begin to reverse these attitudes, to feel courage instead of fear, love instead of hate, forgiveness instead of resentment, the conditions around us begin to reverse themselves and soon become a decided change for the better. So who do you need to forgive? Is it yourself? Is it someone else? What resentment, what grievance do you need to just let go of? Even if you're right, let it go. I know it's hard. Do that work. I'm doing some parts work guided meditations. I might do a course on it because, I'm a therapist. I see clients, but I can't see 10 clients a day. There's a lot of people on my wait list. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing therapeutic things and just putting it on YouTube so that it can help a lot of people, So if you're interested in that, leave it in the comment section. But I'm going to do EFT tapping to regulate. Talk about Ho'oponopono, the forgiveness method, IFS parts work. Those are the modalities that I use and that I can teach. EMDR, of course, but I can't obviously teach you that. I can walk you through it. If you're interested, let me know. But yeah, my life has been changed by this material. So a lot more to come. I'm really excited to share all of the things that I'm creating, but I appreciate you being here and all of your love and support. And I love all your comments. Thank you. If you have any recommendations, you guys are pretty good at that. Just let me know. I think Marianne, you wanted tapping on confidence. I'm going to do that. I have that on my to-do list. So I'm going to finish. So this was video number 7. We're going to do number 8 next time. I love these lives and I hope you are enjoying my rants about them. So it goes back to that poem, your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. What seeds are you planting in the garden of your mind? What are you getting emotionally involved with? Even if you're right, what are you getting emotionally involved with? Remember, our emotions are just feedback. And sometimes we do need to feel a certain thing to take action. When we feel fear and we're uncomfortable in a situation that we shouldn't be in, let's pay attention. Maybe we need to make a move. Maybe we need to make a decision and take action. That's what that nasty feeling is for. But what if we ignore that? Most of the time, these emotions are just for no good reason. I'm just arguing with someone in my head as I'm curling my hair in the morning. What am I doing? What am I getting emotionally involved with? Remembering how somebody screwed me over 12 years ago? What? How this group of people is telling lies? Why am I thinking about that? If it's really directly hurting me, yes, I'm going to be normal and call the police or get a lawyer and, get justice. But that's usually not what we're dealing with most of the time, 95% of the time. Let's just be honest. Take that fearless moral inventory. What are we getting emotionally involved with? What are we growing in the garden of our mind? What kind of fruits are they bearing? What does our life look like? What does your garden look like? What does your surroundings look like right now? What do they smell like? Quite literally. Do you enjoy it? Do you not? Do you want to change it? Change is the only constant. Let's live a life that we truly love. Also, I have some offerings. I think the link is down below. Release to receive. That's what it is. I know I put an offer out. Release to receive. I think I have 5 spots available now. So it's a 4-session package. If you need to release something, if you need to forgive something, if you just can't move past to the next level to something, book a call. It's free. Just book a call to see if it's right for you. Or just click the link, look at the page, maybe you'll like it. So I'm doing that release to receive offer, to release what no longer serves you so you can receive what does serve you. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, click that link. Again, I appreciate all your love and support. I will see you all next time for video number 8. Have a wonderful night.